Hey, what's up? It's CJ here. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to the show. You know what? I got a bone to pick with some of you. The last video, my lips were chapped. My lips was chapped. And ain't none of y'all say nothing. Nobody said nothing to me about it. Maybe I should start going live and doing these videos with a live feed going on so people can let me know what's really going on. Yeah, I didn't see that till afterwards. So, thank you to me for saying something. Y'all gotta step it up. Let me know what's going on, and I can't be up here with the chapped lips. Can't do it. Today is a Q&A. I'm answering your questions. And if you are wondering where these questions are coming from, they're coming from Instagram. So you have to follow me on Instagram. This is why you follow me on IG. You might see a post where I'll post something on my stories, and I will, just put a little question, a little topic, whatever you want to talk about. We'll start talking about them here. So today is a Q&A. I'm going to go through a list of the questions that I did get on IG. You know what? At first I didn't think I got any questions. And then all of a sudden I started getting all these like notifications, and I think they came in, but they came in all at the same time for some reason. It didn't notify me while I was like getting them. So I would have done that in the previous videos, but I just saw them this morning and I was like, hey, let's make that video. All right. So we're going to just going through these questions in no particular order. But I did kind of skim through them. So I do kind of know what's coming out after me. I know what's coming after me a little bit. Naturally Nay 55. Appreciate your question. She asked, how is it being a father of four? How do you keep your marriage healthy? That's a great question. And it's a topic that I wanted to talk about. I did want to talk about relationship stuff, but not in the sense of like my relationship. I wanted to talk about like the fraud that there is going on with a lot of these relationship gurus and relationship like advice going on. And it's pretty prevalent in the Black community. But to answer your question, how is it being a father of four? Being a father of four is difficult. And I think people don't really understand like how difficult it is to be a parent. And I think people want to have kids, but don't understand the difficulty and the responsibility that they have when having kids. Once a child is born, it is your responsibility to get them to where they need to go. And the most important thing is that, and something that I've been realizing recently, is that where they are currently is not a reflection of them per se, more so a reflection of how much and what I've been pouring into, or what my wife and I have been pouring into them up until that point. So it is really, you reap what you sow. And if you are not sowing into your kids, and if you're not pouring into them and making sure that you're, giving them the tools that they need to be an effective and, just an effective human being, someone who has ambition, someone who has drive and hard work and all that stuff. And I think it's tough being a father of four because of the fact that you have to pour into so many cups at the same time. And you want to make sure that everyone's cup is being poured into. Inevitably, you will not be able to pour into everybody's cup. And that's one thing that, I'm learning as well. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. And so the second part of your question is how do you keep your marriage healthy? A marriage is marriage, and it be marriaging, when it comes to me and my wife. I think what helps us a lot is talking to each other and understanding what the goal is, right? I think a lot of marriages break up because the two are not in agreement on what the goal is. Like, What are we working towards? What is our plan? What are we trying to do? And I think people grow apart because they resent the other person for not agreeing with the plan or agreeing with what the most important thing is, right? I think my wife and I have agreed that, you know, it is time to pour into our kids. And we want to pour into them. And agreeing on that goal is what, keeps us healthy. And as long as we're on the same page and we're agreeing on that goal and agreeing on what the most important thing I think, it can stay healthy. Is everything healthy all the time? No. You have periods of sickness, you have periods of health, and you have to work through those things. Next question comes from thanks underscore Melissa. Thank you for your question. She asks, the topic that she wants to talk about is my coaching journey. If you didn't know, I am a youth coach. I coach basketball. I also coach football, and I feel like there's a huge need in pouring into our youth. And I started coaching because I wanted to pour into my son a little bit more. I started coaching because I saw that, like, when he was being coached, the effort and the quality of coaching wasn't there. And I quickly realized that, like, there's not everybody gives the effort and, like, puts their best foot forward like you do, or like I don't want, like, Tiffany and I, we try to put our best foot forward in everything we do. And when we're gonna do something, we're gonna try to do it to the best of our ability. And I realized that not everyone is like that, and especially in the coaching, area, and especially youth coaching. And to be honest with you, people, are volunteering their time. But I always feel like, even if I'm volunteering, I need to put 100% of my effort into the thing that I'm doing, and that is the kids, pouring into the kids, right? And so I didn't realize that I have a gift of reaching kids. When I talk to them, they listen, and when I address them, they listen. When I have a knack for understanding, and I think this goes back to my sensitivity to the world around me, to the people around me. When I want to reach out to a child, I am taking account of who that child is and how they're receiving it, and what method I should go about to help them receive it better. And I don't take a one way approach, to my kids. And I think that's kind of made me an effective coach. I think I'll talk more about that in the coaching industry. Let's make a note of that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Okay. Our flower or our floor. Appreciate the question. Our LOU. Hopefully I'm spelling that right. I don't know. What's the best small camera for new vloggers? I mean, honestly, I would say the answer to that is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's the best because it is easy to use, it is affordable, and anything that keeps you from thinking about it too much is the best way to go. If you have to pull it out and it's, this huge camera and you're embarrassed to use it, then it's not a good camera. If it's not easy to use, it is not a good camera. If it is not affordable, it may not be a good camera. So the best camera is, in my opinion, is the DJI Osmo 3 because of the price point, and because of the ease of use. All right. Win 16, WWNNN 16. Why are you a great father and a handyman? I appreciate that. I appreciate the question, and I appreciate that encouragement. I don't think I'm a great father. I think I strive to be a great father. And through striving to be a great father, you end up doing great things every now and then. As far as handyman, I grew up with my dad, doing projects around the house, and he would make me do the projects around the house with him. And I learned a lot from that, and I owe a lot of that to him. I did take like a woodworking class or something like that when I was in like middle school or something. And then I'm also an engineer. So I'm a mechanical engineer, by trade. So, yeah, I kind of just get those things, you know? Kayla underscore 15 Harris. Appreciate the question. She asked, how do you keep yourself motivated to help others? That is okay. That's a good question. I thought that was just about keeping myself motivated, but keeping yourself motivated to help others is a different type of question. How do you keep yourself motivated to help others? I think I naturally gravitate towards being someone who cares about others and cares about helping other people achieve their goals. I get more satisfaction from helping someone else achieve their goals than I do from achieving a goal myself. Tiffany will tell you that Tiffany, my wife, will tell you that I am nonchalant. Even when we won, we went 10-0. We won conference champion, and I didn't crack a smile. We go 13-0 and win the city championship, and this is in basketball. And I didn't crack a smile while people were rushing the court. I didn't crack a smile. I got more satisfaction in helping the kids achieve something, like the journey of going, like, of getting a kid who just doesn't know anything about basketball to be a part of a championship team. That process is everything for me, and I think that's what keeps me motivated, is knowing that, I guess I had a goal at one point in my life, and I did not have someone there to help me achieve that goal, like pulling me along, like, hey man, this is what you need to do. I wish I had that, and I didn't. So that's what keeps me motivated to help others achieve their goals. And I think that's a great question. Very selfless question. Okay, so 9 West 99. A lot of nines there. Appreciate your question. Get back to cooking and barbecue recipes. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was that direct. Get back to cooking and barbecue recipes. So my biggest problem is I allow other people to deter me from doing things. Now that I don't do that anymore to the extent that I did it before. But back when I was doing cooking videos, I was probably one of the few that was cooking and like male cook, chefs, I guess. I'm not a chef, but like just a cook online who was actually, creating content consistently and getting some decent views. There was one other guy, I forgot, this white guy. He still does cooking videos to this day, I believe. Then there was like Fit Man Cook, and like I think I might have started, around the same time as them, and like my channel was growing and doing really well. I was making cooking videos, but I feel like as the world kind of got a little bit more like culture sensitive, some of the things that I was cooking, I was getting a lot of backlash for. And it's like, why are you cooking this? Like, this is not right. This is, I'm like, I'm just cooking, and I didn't understand it at the time. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped cooking. I still cook for my family. And that's really what I think a lot of the stuff is like content creation is a byproduct for me, right? I enjoy doing the thing for the thing. Like I enjoy cooking because it makes my family happy and it fills their stomachs up and they like, "Ooh, Dad, that was good. Can you cook this for me again?" That's what I do it for. I don't do it for content creation. Content creation, which is a byproduct. I was like, well, like I'm gonna cook this for my family, and then while I'm doing it, I might as well just show people how to do it too. So I think the motivation to do cooking videos is not really there for me. But I wish that I would go back to it because it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoy cooking, but it's not like I think the other thing is I don't enjoy being put into a box, and that's a huge problem for me. I don't like being, oh yeah, you the dude to be doing like, yeah, I guess that's me. Reagan forever. Ever. Appreciate the question. You asked me, when did you acquire all your DIY skills? So I recently learned to sew, and I just sewed my wife something special. And DIY is not a skill that you acquire. DIY is the skill of DIY is saying that I enjoy puzzles and I will not stop until I figure it out. And so that's the engineer and reverse engineering in me. My DIY skills come from that enjoyment of solving a puzzle and being relentless in the pursuit of solving that problem or puzzle. So DIY is like, you acquire like one skill at a time because you were trying to solve a puzzle. And then eventually you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Or like if you come across a problem, you're like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure it's just like the other problems that I had. I can figure it out. And so just kind of that idea of having that. Kim _ Faye, I think that's right. FAI. Sorry if I'm. Appreciate the question. How has fatherhood healed your inner child? Jeez, y'all are getting like. I appreciate the deepness because I like to go deep, and this is an opportunity for me to go deep. How has childhood healed your inner child? How has fatherhood healed your inner child? I think fatherhood has healed my inner child in ways that I didn't know they would. And I also think it has come in phases. The problem with having children early is that you are growing up while you are helping another person grow up and still growing yourself and still like learning who you are. It becomes difficult to help someone else learn who they are, right? And so the first phase of like healing my inner child is like understanding who I was and healing some of the trauma that I experienced growing up, which was very like my parents did a great job of raising me, but no one gets out of childhood unscathed. So I learned like parts of myself along the way by seeing my kids grow and seeing that like parts of me were in them, and then understanding like, oh, okay, I do that. That's why he does that. And why was I doing that? Why am I that way? Okay, this is why I'm that way. Understanding that, like, I experienced this in my childhood. And so because I experienced that, I passed that down to my son. Now that I understand what that is, how do I help him overcome it? But first, how do I help myself overcome it? And then how do I learn from how I helped myself overcome it to help, my son overcome it? And, you learn things along the way. And that's the problem, is that, it comes in waves. And as you heal and as you grow, you kind of expand some of that knowledge and that information, and you need to share it to your kids. And that's why it's important for us to heal, because fatherhood has forced me to heal. Like, I could have allowed these things to just continue on. And that's why I enjoy the fact that fatherhood happened early for me, because if it happened later, the things that I have had to, or the things that I have needed to address, would have never been addressed. And because of the children that I have, my children, my kids, my babies, because of them, I am able to say that I have gone on a journey of healing myself to the point that I am now. I still need some work, but I've gotten to that point. Okay, appreciate the question. That was a good one. Kim underscore, no, that was Kim underscore. That was the last one. So, my boy Tosh, T underscore Bay Tops. How do you make time for each child and wife? Taj, congratulations. I know you're having another baby. Congratulations to you and your wife. Taj, his son is on my one of, he's on football team. I coached him in basketball and football. Great family. Man, how do you make you know what? And this is what I to piggyback on what I said before. Inevitably, a child will not get everything. You can't give them everything, but I think you can try. One of the things that you can do is dedicate a day of the. I've got 4 kids. I could dedicate 1 week. 1 week, 1 day out of that week, to one person, and celebrate that person. Spend time with them. Take them out. I will say it's important to do things alone with the child, instead of just doing things with all the children. Do things with all of them, but then also do things with them individually, because it's important to understand and know that child, to the point where you know what that child needs. You know what that child likes. You know what that child enjoys, and they understand that dad knows me. Dad gets me. Dad understands me, and they would be. I feel like they would be more open to sharing their lives with you. But you also mentioned wife, and I think wife comes first, and I say I think because, this is all just a crapshoot, right? I think wife comes first. The wife needs to know that you and her are on the same page. Now, what a lot of women do is they prioritize their children, and I think as men we have to understand that you may not always be the priority of your wife, and everyone else will be your priority. Notice I said always. But we have to come to agreement on how much time we plan to spend. I would say to plan it out, but life is crazy. Like right now with Tiffany and I, we are all over the place. Had a game last night, have a gymnastics meet today, a practice tonight, a game tomorrow, 2 games the day after that. There's not a lot of time. And I think we have to come to the understanding, right now there's just not a lot of time, and we have to agree on that. So, make do what you can, and just try your best. Last question is from Molly K. Molly K, I appreciate your question. Molly K 452. I appreciate the question. She asked, Would love to see an update interview with the kids like you did before. Molly, so I was going to do this actually during Christmas time, and I just couldn't find the time to get everybody set down. I will most certainly do it. Okay, Molly, I'll do that for you, just for you. Okay. I definitely wanted to do an updated video with that. I really enjoyed doing the first one, and now hearing and seeing the who they are now. I think that would be such a good time, because they are all very articulate now and all able to have it and show their personality. So really, really, really cool. So quick word answer. Okay. So we talked about fatherhood. I think that's a topic that we need to talk about a little bit more. Fatherhood it's it's interesting. And I think there's a lot to be shared there. Another thing I think we need to really talk about on the channel is I want to talk about like the Black community on social media. I think there's a lot of areas that we have to improve on, and there's a lot of areas that we need to watch out for. There's a lot of fraud on social media, and you have to be careful. Everything you see on social media is not true, and I want to talk about some of those like key figures that are on social media that I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have a pretty good knack for like recognizing who people are. Some of your favorite people, I do not bang with in real life, and you need to be careful. Okay, you need to be careful. Um, then this is maybe if you have any questions or any topics that you would like to discuss, let me know. I would try to stay. I don't like doing like hot topics all the time, but that's what gets the views. That's what you talk about what people are talking about, right? And that's what you got to do. Unfortunately, but really, honestly, thank you everyone for submitting the questions. Thank you, viewers, for watching this video, and leave some comments. Again, leave some comments for the next Q&A, or just follow me on IG and TikTok to make sure that you can stay up to date when we're going to do some of these Q&As. Just be ready for that, okay? And make sure you like, comment, subscribe here. Put the notification bell on so you can get updated when I post a new video. But I will see you guys in the next video. Appreciate the talk and the chit chat and the questions. Peace.